Session to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Anuradha Chugh, Associate Professor, USICT, GGS IPU, Delhi. Dr. Chugh has a long teaching experience of almost 30 years to her credit as a faculty and in administrative at various educational institutes in India. Ma'am has published more than 50 research papers in international and national journals and conferences. She is a passionate developer, designer, and deploy. She has already deployed the IoT applications in various aspects of human life. She has delivered many talks featured data mining, IoT, mining software repositories at various FDPs and student talk. She has also served as a reviewer for several national and international journals conferences in the area of software engineering, such as ACM transactions, IJKE, SE, FOSC, IEEE Access, neurocomputing, and Interscience. We are really having privilege to have you with here, ma'am. Over to Anuradha, ma'am. Ma'am, are you here? Hello.
She's in the meeting, ma'am. Just a minute.
Okay, I think she has joined. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, she has joined. She's in meeting.
Okay. Over to you,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Hello,
yes, ma'am.
hello. Yeah,
Hello.
I'm
Good
audible
morning,
now.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
good
ma'am, you're
morning.
audible.
So let me see
Thank
if
you.
my screen is visible. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's
Yes, ma'am.
visible.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for inviting me at this platform where I can discuss about the generative AI and large language models. Basically, as I have been told by Dr. Deepika, that all these the audiences will be mostly the teachers and the professors around all India in higher education. So I would like to go a little bit of technical things that how these generative AI and large language model works. So first of all, obviously, we all are being fascinated by the word chat GPT. We all have used it. And my talk will go around this topic only, that how chat GPT is working in the background, what is the architecture and how the things are processed, all these things. So, as the name implies, generative AI and large language model. My talk will be somewhere around, I'll explain you. Let me show you the, first of all, the table of content. So, first, I'll be show you that what is generative AI, then the factors, because generative AI, actually, when we talk about in 1991, when we were students of MCA, that time they used to say that AI is not possible, AI will never come. So why they everyone says that why AI will not come? That time we used to answer that the reason behind the AI will not come is that AI is very context sensitive. Context sensitive in the sense that if I tell you, if I say 5 times acha in a different tone and tenor, you will come to know that in what sense I am talking about. If I'll say acha, it is something different. If I'll say acha, it is something different. If I'll say acha, it is very different. It is a acha, acha, acha. अब मैंने पांच अच्छा I use the word, but all five have different meanings, different context, different symbol which is being communicated, and everyone understood that this is acha and this is acha. Now the computer cannot do so because, as you all know, compiler design we all have read studied. If there is a word acha and its meaning is acha, that means it will remain acha, whatever context and whatever language and whatever pronunciation and whatever punctuations are being used. Right. So that is why we used to say that generate AI is not possible. And now when the AI is reality, AI is actually is possible. Again, mind it, it is not AI, it is generative AI. Why generative AI? Because the machine learning algorithms are being, I can say that nothing is, this is no, a fancy word, of course, but if you see in the inside of it, It is not a rocket science. Only the machine learning algorithms are extrapolated. Machine learning algorithm means in statistical model, what we were doing, we were generating a y is equals to mx plus c regression line. We all are comfortable with that. I'll start with that only. That initially, when our data set was small, we were generating a regression model. Then our relationship becomes more complex. Then we move towards the machine learning algorithm. Now the machine learning algorithm, and we have a huge amount of data, huge amount of GPUs and processing and all these things. So from the machine learning, we move to a deep learning. After deep learning, in the deep learning, we were extracting the features and playing with all deep learning algorithms. Now we were more comfortable, so we incorporated the text and language with it, and now we have moved toward the generative AI. That is why it is not AI, it is generative AI. So it is now possible. Then we'll discuss some AI use cases. We'll also discuss the AI architecture and the large language model. So let's start the relationship. So as you can see that in AI, artificial intelligence, there is basically a machine learning is a field, then there is a deep learning is a field, and its subset is generative AI. So I'll explaining you that what are the things covered in AI, then what are the things covered in ML, and what are the refinements took place in ML and give birth to DL. What are the refinements which took place in DL and give birth to generative AI? One by one, I'll come to this point. So what is machine learning? AI, as I discussed, that AI is actually making the computer intelligent. It is artificial intelligence, as intelligent as the human being are. Various fields of AI. It is number one is of course the prediction model, as we all know, we all do this. Then the natural language processing, then the character recognition, then hand recognition, then face recognition, then the all these things, signatures and everything that all comes under the category of the AI. Now in the AI, after the small is ML. Now what is ML? For this ML, I have made a very simple comparison. Earlier in the first year students, when we used to teach programming in C, we used to give data. I just forget to install the open board so that I can mark it. I'll just come back in the with the open board. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'll again start this. So earlier in the when we used to do the programming for the, let's say, class in C, what we used to tell our students, we used to tell, let's say I have to tell a first year student that how to write a program for adding a two numbers. So what I used to say, okay, write 4 lines, scanf A, scanf B, C is equals to A plus B, and printf C. This is what I used to say. And then as an experiment, I used to give some kind of program, some kind of data, and I used to check whether the output is correct or not. Sometimes I'll give 2 and 3, and then I'll cross check whether the 5 is there or not. And the student was also writing the same thing. So that means the normal traditional programming was working something like this, that we are giving the data, we are giving the program, and the output is given to us. Scanf A, scanf B, C is equals to A plus B, and print C. So data is given 2 and 3. Program is given of these 4 lines, and we'll get the output is, as you all know, that 5, 2 or 3, then 5 output. Then we move toward the machine learning. In machine learning, the data is given to you, the output is given to you, and the program is being written by the computer. How it is done? Let me show you with an example. For example, this is a data. What this data says, these are the 5 rows, 6 rows. There is a name, then there is a rank, assistant professor, professor, associate professor. There is some years, how many years he has been worked in, and then there is tenure, that whether his tenure is done or it is not done, tenured or not. Now this, in this tenured part, if you see carefully, we can say that if it is a professor, it is always yes. If it is associate professor or assistant professor, in 3 it's no, in 7 it's yes, in 7 it's yes, it's 6 it's no, in 3 it's no. That means if he is a professor, it is definitely a yes. But if it is not a professor, and if it is an associate professor or assistant professor, then if it is more than 7 or equal to 7, then only it will be yes. Otherwise, for 3 it's no, for 6 it's no, for 3 it's no. So that means what? I'll come back to my own points. The data is given to me. This is the data, and I have written a program out of this data. What is the program I've written? That if the rank is equal to professor, tenure is equal to yes, and if it is assistant professor or associate professor, then I have to deep down further and see the years. And now, if the years are more than 7 or 7, then only tenure is yes. Otherwise, it's no. So that means what has happened if you see carefully. Now, in this, what has happened? The data is given. I gave the data that, okay, this is a situation. Output is also given. Tenure is yes or no. And what the computer has done, he has write a program out of looking of its data. I give you one more example. I always give this example to my students, and wherever I give sessions, it's a very interesting example that I have a son and he is studying in class 11. And obviously, as a working lady, I go to my office every day. So at exactly 5 o'clock, he gives me a call and he says me that, Mom, I want to go down in the society. I want to go down in the park and play. What do? I ask certain questions. For example, have you done your homework? Have you finished your lunch? The tiffin is being in the sink or not? We also have a pet. So pet ko ghuma diya and all not. And then I'll see outside. How's the weather? Whether it's rainy or it's a windy or it's sunny. If it's extreme heat, there's so much of sunny. Then I say that, okay, you can't go and play. If it's rainy, of course you can't go and play. But if the weather is, let's say, very comfortable, it's comfortable, no rainy and no rainy, and it is good, then I say that, okay, you have done your homework, you have done your lunch, everything is done. Now the weather is also good, you can go down and play. Now let's say one day my phone is not approachable. I'm not approachable. My phone is switched off. Now there's a maid also in the house. So he will definitely ask the maid that, Didi, can I go and down and play? So obviously the Didi is emulating me now, what the Mem Sahib is doing. So if the madam is saying, asking these 10 questions, she will exactly ask those 10 questions. And what decision I take, she will also take the same decision. This is what computers, this is what machine learning. Exactly asking those 10 questions. And what madam is doing, the computer is also giving the same instructions. He has made a decision tree out of it. The computer has made a decision tree after observing these 10 days or let's say 1 month, my behavior of how I am behaving. It's machine learning. Machine is learning from me. We used to laugh nowadays that, of course, the men are hooked to the machines. We all know, our children, our kids, whole society. We all are hooked. We are, every time we are on the mobile, we are hooked. But yes, we are not learning. We are hooked up to the machine. But on the other way around, the machines are actually learning from us. The machines are learning our behavior, our intelligence, and they are making this thing. And that with deep learning and this large language model, it is the beyond imagination. So that means what? Now the machine has learned. So as I said, the machine learning. So I would like to show you one tree also, that how that particular tree is made, and then I'll come back to this comparison. So if I can show you this particular tree. So what all they have done here? They have made a comparison. Just see the data of 14 days. Now, again, outlook, humidity, wind. This example I have taken from a very famous data mining book. This is the book we all know. This is a data mining book is I just forget the name. I'll just let you know just now in 2 minutes. So what it does, it says that when there is a sunny and high, it is no. But if the outlook is overcast, you see 4 times it is overcast. 1, 2, 3, 4, and every time it's yes. So my aim is, once I start my outlook, my aim is just to see there are 3 possibilities in the outlook: the sunny, the overcast, and the rain. For the overcast, there are 4 instances: 1, 2, 3, 4. And every time it's yes. That means I can always write an algorithm that if outlook is equal to overcast, play is equal to yes. Agreed? Now, what happened? Now, in the case of sunny, if I see in the case of sunny, the set is not pure. The set is not pure. How? This sunny and this sunny and this sunny. 3 times it's no. And this sunny and this sunny 2 times is yes. So I said that in the case of sunny, the set is not same, pure. 3 times this and 2 times this. So what should I do? I should try and find out any other attribute which will help me in classification, so my next attribute is the humidity. It is high, then no. It is high, then no. It is high, then no. But if it is normal, then I can say yes. So that means I have made another tree. If it's high, it's no. If it is normal, it's yes. So from the data, I have made a decision tree. It's a perfect example to understand that how this classification and prediction works. Now we can add as many attributes as I want. In this, I have added only three attributes, that is outlook, humidity, and wind. But of course, I can add as many attributes as I want. For example, I said that you can add, let's say, the how homework has done or not. You can add that the pet has gone for a walk or not. You can add that whether he has kept the tiffin in the sink or not, and what all. You can add as many attributes as what you would like to have. But the more or less the problem of this machine learning algorithm is remains like this is one example, decision tree. There are very many machine learning and classification algorithms. Like in classification, we make decision tree. In clustering, we make clusters. In association minings, we make a priori trees and a priori algorithms. Then on the pattern matching, we make the patterns and then determine the text mining. So there are very many machine learning techniques. There are data mining techniques, but more or less it's the same, that we are from the data we are making some kind of model, and with the help of this particular model we are trying to prepare us for the future. Clear? So obviously the relationship sometimes linear, sometimes not linear. If you remember correctly, in the 10th, 11th, 12th class, the relationship used to be the very straightforward. For example, if a table is given to us, let's say there is a x and there is a y, and x has 2 and then 4 and then 6 and then 12, and every time for y it's just double. 2 is 4, 4 is 8, 6 is 12, 12 is 24. Then the teacher used to tell us that isko y is equals to mx plus 3 regression में fit करो, and then we used to generate a regression line kind of a this kind of a thing. We used to say that it's y is equals to mx plus c, and the typical formula apply किया, and then this m की value we used to determine the value of m. There the life was very simple. Why the life was very simple? Because there was only two attributes, number one. Number two, the relationship was very linear in nature. Very linear in the nature, in the sense that yes, there were little bit differences. For example, I might say that for 2 and let's say 4 and let's say 6 and let's say 8 and let's say 10, these are the variable of x. For y it is 4, but here instead of 8 it is 9. Here it is instead of 12 it is 11. Here out of 16 it is 17, and for 10 it is, let's say, 29, 21. So what happened then? We used to generate this kind of regression line. Now if you see 2 and 4, the point will come somewhere here. For 4 to 9, the point will not come exactly on the line, but it will be somewhere here, just above that. For 6 and 11, the point will not come here, it will somewhere down here, because it is little less. For 8 to 17, the point will be, I'm sorry, the point will be somewhere little above. So it's 11. Then for 8 to 17, it is above. For 10 to 20, it is little above. So, but more or less with little bit of errors, I have been able to draw a simple line. That was the beauty when there was a simple and linear relationship. But now the life is not that easy. Now the life is very much complex. Like I show you, I have kept one more this thing with me. It is something like this, that earlier, just one example, that earlier the relationship was something like this. You can see here the relationship is something like this, that we have been able to draw a line. Then what happened? The line it was something like this. I tried to fit a line, and then I will be able to fit the line somewhere here, because I have to basically differentiate now. This is a one classification and this is one class. So I made a class. Then comes this kind of dots, somewhere of this dot. Now in this particular case, I know that I'll not be able to fit in line this way. I'll not be able to fit in the line this way. Not possible. So what has happened? Now I have to make a non-linear function, hyperbola separation kind of a thing. I have to write the equation for the curve, that means. So now no more y is equals to mx plus c. It has to be somewhere hyperplane. So that's how I started working in, and I wrote an equation for such kind of polynomial functions. So that such kind of polynomial function, so that my ultimate goal is just to segregate both, that in this case you can play and in this case you can't play. Basically it's just a kind of a classification, but the attributes were not linear as we were assuming for a perfect ideal situation. वो हुआ नहीं, unfortunately. Then the life became more complicated. Now the dots are written in this. You can see that one class is this and this, and another class is this and this. And now, unfortunately, line won't play because this line is not working, this line is not working, this line is not working, this line is not working. And then, of course, polynomial will also not work because this polynomial won't work, this polynomial won't work. So, what to do now? So, now I come with the idea of planes. So how do I do a plane? You can assume something like this, that it's a kind of a paper I'm holding in my hand. And there are four different classes. These two belongs to one class and these two belongs to another two class. So what I need to do? I need to pick up these four. I need to pick up these four and then put a plane in this. Somewhere I show you a diagram. Somewhere, something like this. Something like this way. So I'm picking up a plane and then just see, first I tried y is equals to mx plus c regression line. I move further, I try to put in some kind of parameter, plane, some parabola, sorry, some kind of polynomial equation. Our polynomial is also not working, so I come to the setting up the plane. Now onwards, the life changed. Here only three variables, x, y, z. So I could afford to put a plane in this. But now, as the number of features extended, just as I showed you in decision tree, there were only three variables. You know, the wind and then solar, the humidity and the outlook. But in the real life, the parameters are not three. For example, if you want to look at, I want to look at your face and I want to find out whether I should classify you in a beautiful face or not. There are very many attributes. There is a particular class who says that Smita Patel is the most beautiful person. There is another class who is saying no, she was a little bit having a dark complexion. She can't be considered in a beautiful face. So what do they say? These are so subjective in nature. They are so subjective in nature. The parameters are so huge. It is not how the nose and the eyes and the lips and the cuts and the everything considered. For someone it's nose important, for someone it's a complexion more important. So the parameters are different, and not only the parameters, even the weight of that parameter is different. लाइक चाय में किसी को बहुत पकी हुई पसंद है, किसी को बहुत दूध की बहुत पसंद है, किसी को बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग पसंद है, किसी को बहुत कम चीनी वाली पसंद है, किसी को बहुत तेज चीनी वाली पसंद है. दैट मीन्स इफ वी कंसीडर वन कप टी एज अ होल प्रोडक्ट, इट हैज हंड्रेड्स ऑफ एट्रीब्यूट्स. पानी कितना, दूध कितना, इलायची है कि नहीं है, अदरक है कि नहीं है, बॉयल है कि नहीं है, पत्ती है कि नहीं है, दूध है कि नहीं है, ग्रीन टी है कि नहीं है, दालचीनी है या नहीं है, एंड लिस्ट गोज ऑन एंड गोज ऑन. कितनी देर पकाया है, दूध पहले डाला है, दूध बाद में डाला है, what all, you all know that. That means you can well imagine that if a one cup of tea can have 100 of attributes, 100 of features, then what all to talk about the whole world. I mean, it is beyond imagination. So that is how we say that life is now no more simple. We can't go linear, y is equals to mx plus c. We can't go polynomial. We can't go 3D planes. Now we have to go for some kind of hyperplanes with very many relationships. So that is why I come to my main point, that from this point we move to another thing, that is now not machine learning. Now we'll go toward the deep learning. So in this example, I have shown you the clear case that in the machine learning, the input is there. This is a car. So there is some kind of classification attributes, 4 wheels and the 5-seating chair, and this is a shape and all these things. And on the basis of that, I have made a tree. It's a classification tree. So if something is applied to it, then it can tell, the output tell that it's a car or no car. For example, I said that in the professor, associate professor, it is tenure or not. For example, I can go down, play and not play. So the tree is being made. But the features, when the features go beyond limits, you can't make a tree out of it. You can't make a tree out of it. You really have to extract those features. You really have to store these features. And for every feature, there is a weight. As I said, beauty. Every feature. There is eyes, there is nose, there is ears, there is face cut, there is complexion, right? There is hairs, right? So that means every feature has a weight. So that is why the deep learning, like for example, अगर हम एक cat देंगे और अगर वो machine learning algorithm में जाएगा, so it will work on a simple thing. 2 आईज हैं, 2 हैं, 4 हैंड्स हैं, फरी है, कुछ उसके ऊपर लाइनिंग्स हैं, इतना स्मॉल साइज में है, आवाज ऐसी है, all these features. It will store in the form of the tree and it will tell you car, it's a cat or no cat. But in deep learning, it's not that. In the deep learning, we can say that actual image is stored. How that image is stored? Obviously, there are very many images. So what the computer does, that once a cat image is given to the computer for deep learning, it tries to make every possible combination of the cat. Seedha, ulta, opposite, tedha. It is called as data augmentation process actually. So enlarged, shorten, zoom, black and white. It will try to make every possible combination of it, and it will try to store it. That is why we say that in the deep learning, the features are extracted, the weights are allocated. As I said, the weights. What do I mean by weights? Example, I said that in the tea, there is a weight of everything. कितना देर boil किया है? किसी को 2 मिनट का boil चाहिए, किसी को just pour किया हुआ boil चाहिए, किसी को यार अच्छा तड़के वाली चाय चाहिए, ढाबे पे जो हम मांगते हैं, वो 15 मिनट उबली हुई चाहिए. So it's a weight. It's a weight. सबको boil चाहिए. Boil is a attribute. पर कितना is a weight. अदरक हम डालते हैं, इट्स एट्रीब्यूट. पर किसी को बिल्कुल अदरक वाली चाय चाहिए, मतलब वो चाहता है कि इतना सारा जूस डाला जाए. किसी को लगता है नहीं, स्मॉल जस्ट शुड बी, थोड़ी सी डालनी है, बहुत नहीं डालनी है. So this is what I'm telling you, that attribute, and not only the attribute, its weight equally counts. So this is how we landed from the machine learning to the deep learning. Obviously, now that we are moving, there are very many machine learning algorithms. I just make the list, some list, not everything. I'll circulate these PPTs to ma'am, Gargi ma'am, and then she can give it to further all the participants. So linear regression, logistic regression, random forest, more or less moving somewhere around tree only, and kind of PCA, K-mean clustering. Again, in K-mean clustering, also the clusters are made. In the hidden Markov model, again, the DV scan, all these things, more or less, they all are machine learning algorithm. But in the deep learning, it is a convolution neural network, CNN, RNN, LSTM, GRU, transform learning, then the all these things, generative adversarial network, GAN bolte hain isko, then DBN, and all these things are come under the category of deep learning. So these are some examples, not all. It just the list is not inclusive. It is just some example of machine learning and generative AI. Now I come to the main point of generative AI. So in the generative AI, what I'm doing, I give you one example, and then I tell you that how this generative AI is generative. I'll come back to this. Just give me 1 sec. I just want to show you that what is the power given to generative AI. And that slide is little bit after this slide. I want to show you this one. With this slide, I just want to show you the capabilities of the generative AI. The 1 GB can store 178 million words. This is a takeaway from the today's session. 1 GB can store 178 million words. And this generative chat GPT, which you are listening today, and the Bard, Google Bard, which you are listening today, you know that how much memory they are consuming in the backside. So the GB is gone for the day. It is gone for the past. Now after GB, the terabyte, now the petabyte, and the list is beyond this. That means what I'm saying is that if 1 GB can store 178 million words, and now every word has a meaning, every word has a weight, every word is being considered as an attribute. And for each attribute, there is a weight. For each weight, there is some combination of network to generate something new. That is why it is no more AI, it is generative AI. Generative, because it is generating itself, it is not intelligent. It is just listening us, storing those values in the mind, and then applying some kind of AI algorithm into it and generating something. Getting my point? So this, with this data set, I just want to tell you that this is the power of generative AI. So again, I come back to this point, that how this generative AI works. So this is the generative AI overview. What all I have, obviously, first of all thing is AI, as I discussed. In this, machine learning, again, transformers is again transformer learning basically. So from the machine learning, when we came to the deep learning, instead of using all those GNN and CNN and TNN model, it has come to the transform learning. If you see carefully in the back slide, when I was discussing the all the deep learning algorithm, that time I mentioned this, that one of the deep learning algorithm is transform learning and generative learning. So from this, we have come to this point that transformer is transformative learning. It's basically an algorithm. And then the prompt engineering. Prompt engineering के नाम से एक बात याद आई कि एक ना हम जब when we were there in school college, I'm talking about 1990. तो ये ना एक बड़ा नया नया दैट टाइम द कंप्यूटर केम इनटू इंडिया, बड़ा नया नया आ रहे थे उन दिनों में. तो ऑल द बैंक्स वर ऑप्टिंग फॉर दिस कंप्यूटर्स. तो होता क्या था कि एवरी क्लर्क वाज टोल्ड दैट नाउ द कंप्यूटर कैन डू द जॉब ऑफ 5 क्लर्क्स. तो आपकी जॉब तो गई. एंड देन इट वाज really it was a scenario, I'm telling you a real use case, real scenario, कि लंच टाइम में ना जब छुट्टी होती थी या कोई ऐसा होता था, तो दी कंप्यूटर ऑपरेटर जो ये हमारा बैंक में जो क्लर्क होता था, he used to pour little bit of tea into the computer, into the motherboard of the computer, because he was scared. They were scared कि ये अगर आया तो हमारी जॉब गई. Getting my point? So that time there was a huge controversies were going in the market कि कंप्यूटर आया और जॉब गई, कंप्यूटर आया और सबकी जॉब गई. पर क्या जॉब गई? No, the job has not gone. Actually, we can say that a new class of job is being originated. Na? The clerk were also there, but now the bank clerks are also there, but now the bank clerks are more, they're handling more things. And the thing that our life has become more comfortable. Na? Just imagine yourself, if someone of you of that age in 1991 or something, if you have gone to the railway and done your railway reservation. I was studying in 85 and 87. I was studying in class 12th, and I was studying in my hostel in Jaipur near Ranasthali Vidyapeeth. So since I belong to Bikaner, so I still remember those days that in Vanasthali there was a small window, and we used to go and give this requisition to that bhaiya कि that on this date हमारी छुट्टियां शुरू होंगी and I want to make a reservation from Jaipur to Bikaner. And then he used to take the slip from us and वो Morse code से ना टिक 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 करके, and then he used to give this message to Jaipur headquarter कि इस तारीख को एक जयपुर से बीकानेर की एक नाइट स्लीपर कोच की. Obviously the AC was much luxury that time, we could not afford that, we used to go in normal general class. So the एक sleeper class का एक सीट चाहिए. And then हमको अगले दिन बुलाता था, and then after say 1 hour or 2 hour or sometimes the next day we used to go, तब उसको जयपुर से कंफर्मेशन आता था कि that the seat is available or not, and that time we used to give that cash to him, and then he used to book this ticket for us, and again with the help of Morse code and everything, he used to transmit those details to Jaipur, and then this is how our seats were booked. Now you can see after 20 years what is the scenario. I mean, on 30 years the whole world has changed. The booking the train ticket is now, it's just a 1 minute or 2 minutes click away. Go to IRCTC, enter the train number, date, within 2 seconds you come to know about it, that whether the seat is available or not. You book it, and within hardly 3 seconds the UPI take place, and I don't think more than 2 minutes it takes. So what I mean to tell you is that with this computers coming in, a new class of jobs is being originated for maintaining the server, for writing the code, for those clerks, everybody. कहीं भी जॉब किसी की खत्म नहीं हुई है. Similarly, आजकल बहुत जगह जगह ये डिस्कशन चल रहा है कि भाई जनरेटिव एआई आएगा तो फिर से हमारी नौकरियां खत्म हो जाएंगी, गई बस, all jobs will be gone. लेकिन एक्चुअली में it will be gone? No, it's not. It is giving you a new field of job that is called as prompt engineering. That chat gpt में आप, all of you must have tried using chat gpt. आप chat gpt को कैसा prompt देते हो, उससे खूबसूरत आपको जवाब मिलता है. And then that is why the prompt engineering is the new field which is coming in, and एक बहुत ही important अब इसमें jobs निकल रही हैं prompt engineering में, क्योंकि आपको chat gpt को use करना है, but कितनी खूबसूरती से use करना है ये देखना है. API, the best. I'm coming to the second point, the downside. I'm explaining you this second section, this section. That is, अब क्या हो रहा है ना, हम हर एक स्मॉल एप्लीकेशंस के लिए हम चैट जीपीटी का यूज कर रहे हैं, जनरेटिव एआई का यूज कर रहे हैं. चैट जीपीटी इज वन फॉर्म, गूगल बार्ड करो या कुछ और करो, बट बेसिकली हम लोग इनका जनरेटिव एआई यूज कर रहे हैं और हम एप्लीकेशंस बना रहे हैं. एप्लीकेशंस कैसे बना रहे हैं? लाइक बैकग्राउंड में वी आर यूजिंग द एप्स, द एपीआई, द डेटाबेस ऑफ ओपन एआई, एंड देन वी आर डिप्लॉइंग दिस फॉर अ सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ एप्स. For example, the students are developing, there is deaf and dumb person in the society. There are deaf and dumb person in society. Now, what the students are doing with the help of deep learning and the large language model, they are, for every symbol they get, they are generating it with the help of avatar, AI avatar. They are making a symbols kind of a thing, and then that is generated, something of that sort. Let me show you just one sec. The things, they say that there's a very famous phrase that a picture can say more than 1,000 words. So I'll explain you that what I'm talking about. This particular video is enough. Yesterday I was showing this video. So this one, this particular video. Just see this.
Hello. I'm well. Thank you.
And just like that, we've translated American Sign
Now
Language
just
into
see
spoken
how carefully it is being explained. I just want to tell you what this developer has done. In the background, this developer has done that with the help of gloves, wearing the gloves. He will make the actions, and the speaker attached to him will say the words what it is saying this. So what is it is doing? It is a new branch of developers who are using OpenAI in the background. OpenAI means as I showed you that 1 GB can store 178 million words. That means 1 petabyte can store and 1 terabyte can store. You can well imagine how much it is storing. So those many words are stored in the background. That is OpenAI, and in the API is developed at the front end. And with the help of this, it is just connecting that this symbol means this word, this symbol means this word, this symbol and this reference means this word. So what is happening? It is giving a birth to a new jobs. It is giving birth to a new life. This is just an example for those who are deaf, who are mute, who can't speak. They can wear these gloves and use this. I show you one more. This is for the dumb people, and this is for the let's say, show me. I'll show you. This is for those who do not have the hand. Just see, this is how the hand will be attached, and this is how the hand will be sensed and used. I hope my screen is visible now. I hope my screen is visible. If someone can tell me.
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible.
Okay, thank you. So this is what I want to show you. The one more thing I would like to show you, and that is again the sign language. Just see this video. This is again amazing.
Social venture that use AI and generative AI to create digital sign language interpreter for deaf people. Translate those very quickly with AI to American Sign Language and LSQ at the airport.
Now this particular video, what this video has told us, in the background they have used the capability of the OpenAI. All those words are stored. In the foreground, the API is being developed. जिसका कितना काम है? कुछ काम नहीं है. बैकग्राउंड से जो वर्ड आ रहा है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली सिंबल बनाना है ना. थैंक्स बोलना है तो ऐसे सिंबल बनाना है. एंड वन जनरेटिव एआई, वन एआई अवतार. सो एक एआई अवतार बैकग्राउंड में 1 petabyte में जितने 1 terabyte में जितने वर्ड्स आ रहे हैं, यू कैन मल्टीप्लाई. अगर इफ द 1 GB can store 178 millions, that means 1 petabyte is multiplied by 1024, and then again 1024, and then you can well imagine kitni capacity hui. And then you are generating that one AI avatar and then one API. So what is helping now? Is there any loss to your job? Do you still think that there is a job loss once the generative AI will come? No, it will not. It will certainly not. It will give a new life to those deaf, new life to those who are dumb, new life to those who are blind. Because with the blind people, they can carry those envision glasses. Nowadays, the envision glasses are available. You can wear it, you can tap it, and then whatever they see, there's a speaker, they'll keep communicating you that there's in the left, this is this, in the right, this is this, on the face of this. Even Envision glasses are capable of. If I wear this and what I say that if it's what is written on this, it will tell you everything, that on the black screen there is written that heading is generative AI. They will scan it and then they will read it for you. There are very many videos available to it. You can always see, you can write Envision glasses and you will find everything on this. Now, so what I'm saying is that हमको कंप्यूटर हमारी लाइफ को आसान बना रहा है ना. अगर मैंने 91 में आपको बताया कि हाउ आई वाज मेकिंग द रिजर्वेशंस फॉर द ट्रेन, कि मैं जाती थी, छोटी सी विंडो थी, उसके अंदर हम देते थे, 2 दिन बाद मिलता था, 3 दिन बाद पे करते थे, 4 दिन बाद टिकट आती थी. नाउ हमारी लाइफ इतनी कंफर्टेबल है दैट विद इन सेक इट इज बीन बुक्ड, है ना. मनी ट्रांसफर हम लोग बकायदा बनाते थे, ड्राफ्ट चेक देते थे और 4 दिन बाद चेक जमा होता था, 5 दिन बाद ओके आता था, चिट्ठी आती थी कि पैसे मिल गए. मनी ऑर्डर, जो दिल्ली में काम कर रहे हैं उनको अपनी पैसा अगर किसी को बिहार में अपने पेरेंट्स को भेजना है, मनी ऑर्डर किया, आधे पैसे खोए, आधे गए, पता नहीं मिले कि नहीं मिले, व्हाट ऑल. अभी क्या है, नाउ यू ऑल नो दैट गूगल पे करिए, विद इन सेकंड्स योर पेरेंट मनी इज अवेलेबल विद योर पेरेंट्स. सो दैट मीन्स हमारी लाइफ और कंफर्टेबल होती जा रही है, और कंफर्टेबल होती जा रही है, हमारे स्टैंडर्ड्स अच्छे होते जा रहे हैं, और यही होने वाला है. सो विद द जनरेटिव एआई एंड चैट जीपीटी एंड ऑल दीज मॉडल्स, अब हम लोग म्यूट लोगों के लिए, द ब्लाइंड पीपल, excuse me. So for the blind people, for the deaf and dumb people, we are going to develop new and new things. So उस केस में क्या होगा? This is what I have shown in the second paragraph. Second is that we are using the nodal APIs, and with the help of OpenAI, Hugging Face is again, you can make the front end API, Vertex AI, all these things will help you in making the new app. अब कहते हैं ना आजकल जमाना ऐप का है, सेंसर लगाइए ऐप बनाइए, ये लगाइए ऐप बनाइए, जनरेटिव ओपन एआई से टू वैल्यूज वर्ड्स उठाइए, फ्रंट एंड हगिंग फेस से बनाइए, ऐप बनाइए. सो every day you are coming with a new idea, a new app. You put in sensor everywhere and you can make a app and you can go with it. Few days back I was telling Gargi ma'am that my students, Gargi ma'am ke students, they have made one app. In this they have just connected a Arduino kit, the microcontroller, along with the gyroscope, and they have shown that they have attached it to the their principal sir's chair in the back side. The moment the chair is moved, something like this, the width is changed, x, y, z, z parameter is changed, and then they will come to know that whether the principal sir is in the chair or he's on the round. So just one sensor gyroscope and you are done. You will be knowing in your mobile that whether the sir is in the chair or he's taking a round. One small app, you all know Bluetooth, it is now everything connected at your home, your geyser, your tube lights, your lights, everything is connected with the controller, and from the home and your mobile itself you can control everything, right? As in my intro they've been told that right now we are having a DBT funded project which is working on tomato and potato plants. Now what are we doing? That sensors, all those humidity sensor, wind, and all these sensors, they are along with the microcontroller, they are being deployed in the IERI, that is in Pusa, and then IERI, and then I'm sitting at my home, and in my mobile itself I can see everything, what is the watering condition, and from here sitting itself I can switch on those actuators and switch on those cameras and switch on those motors, to switch on the motor for watering and to switch off and everything. In remote sensing, we have deployed the radio modules there in the IRI. The sensors are deployed there, and 24 hours the image, the values are given in my mobile. That though in the tomato plants, what is the situation of let's say the plant, and what is phosphorus kitna hai, potassium kitna hai, sare attributes aate rehte hain. And then we keep on making those models that kaun si disease prediction ke liye kya hai. So what I mean to tell you is, with all these examples, कि day by day हमारी लाइफ आसान होने वाली है, जो कि आपको मैंने यहाँ पे थर्ड सेक्शन में दिखाया है. दिस इज द थर्ड सेक्शन, दैट इज ऑल जेन आई एप्लीकेशंस इन द फील्ड ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड लर्निंग. नाउ द टीचर्स जो हैं, जो पहले जो बीएड के जो टीचर्स हैं, उनकी मैं कुछ दिन पहले मैं ले रही थी सेशन. आई वाज टेलिंग देम दैट हाउ दीज टीचर्स, जो कि स्पेशली जो फिजिकली एबल्ड बच्चा जो डिसएडवांटेज ग्रुप पे है, उनके लिए हाउ दे कैन मेक दिस कंप्यूटर more interactive and more helpful. In business and finance, you all know, in the marketing, in the business and finance, ChatGPT is generating all those ideas. Customer support, the biggest example of the customer support is chatbot, है ना. अभी आपको आज जियो में कोई ऐड अपनी एप्लीकेशन कुछ अपना देना है आपको कि मेरा काम नहीं कर रहा है, ऑटोमेटिकली चैटबॉट ही आपसे बात कर रहा होता है. देयर इज नो वन इन द कस्टमर केयर. Then marketing, you all know that in marketing it is being done. So that means what I am saying is that from this I come to know that generative AI में ये ऐसे बना, ये इसकी various APIs हैं. सेकंड पैराग्राफ में मैंने इसके प्रोसेस को शो किया, थर्ड में मैंने एप्लीकेशंस को शो किया, एंड फोर्थ इज what I'm showing you is that how this RAG and fine tuning will be able to help you in making your own model. Why I'm saying making your own model? Because आजकल जमाना just and just APIs का है, applications का है. As I said, सेंसर लगाओ, ऐप बना लो. जेड ओपन एआई से डेटा सेट को बैकग्राउंड में यूज करो, ऐप बना लो. तो आजकल का जमाना एप्स का है और आपको सिर्फ सोचना है कि द आइडिया इज द ओनली थिंग व्हिच इज रिक्वायर्ड, देन तो एवरीथिंग इज अवेलेबल. सो आपको सिर्फ आइडिया लगाना है कि हम किस पे क्या चीज पे हम ऐप बना सकते हैं, एंड देन यू कैन इम्प्लीमेंट इट सून. So in this process, that RAG and fine tuning, I'll explain you later on. So these are the basically deep learning models. Basically, is generative model and discriminative model. So we are working on this particular discriminative model. We have already learned, है ना? Logistic regression, neural network, SVM, and all these things. But generative model is what is being used in this Gen AI. So यहाँ से मैं आपको इसको लिंक कर पाऊंगी. यहाँ से आते हैं हम, we'll come back to this. So we were discussing ना this one, ये वाला. So from AI we come to ML. From ML we come to DL. In the DL I learned two models. The one is discriminative and another is generative. And that generative model को use करके and then शुरू हुआ मेरा generative AI. Getting the point? So this is how we landed to this particular model, and that is generative AI model. And this generative model is all about GAN, this variation, then auto-regressive, data generation, image synthesis, speech synthesis. These are the various applications, these are the characteristics, and this is how the GAN works. And I must accept you, I must tell you that this particular diagram I have generated with the help of ChatGPT. In the whimsical diagram, there is a explore ChatGPT में आप जाएंगे तो आपको whimsical diagram मिलेगा. यहाँ मैंने यही बात लिखी that create a whimsical diagram for the types of deep learning model. And this is what, because Sara ka Sara Google, I was reading on Google on these various articles, and then I wanted to generate a something diagram so that I can show you in the class. So I went to the chat GPT and I said to the chat GPT that generate a whimsical diagram for the types of model in deep learning. And I also give that generative model and discriminative model. And then in discriminative model, please write all those discriminative model. And in the generative, I'll write all these things. And then I also give some example, give some application, and give some characteristics. So this is known as, this particular thing, what I did in the chat GPT is known as, if you all can say, it is prompt engineering. कितना खूबसूरती से मैंने prompt लिखा है, मुझे उतनी खूबसूरती से ही आंसर मिलने वाला है. अगर मैंने खाली if I wrote that what are the various types of DL, तो कुछ और ही output आएगा. If I write that please give me types of deep learning model this and classify them in generative and discriminative. In generative, write example application and characteristics. You will get this kind of diagram. So that is why I told you that with this generative AI coming in, your job is not going to go away. It is going to give you a new kind of jobs. The one is, of course, a prompt engineering. The another is making the apps. OpenAI को background में लेंगे और हम RAG use करेंगे और fine tune front end में करेंगे and we'll make a app. Fine. So this is the what. So generative model के कुछ examples दिए हैं. Generative model में क्या होता है? It creates a new data. How it creates a new data? जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल 7th क्लास का बच्चा है, उसको हमने हड़प्पा एंड मोहनजोदड़ो के बारे में पूरा का पूरा चैप्टर पढ़ा दिया. नाउ ही इज गोइंग टू स्कूल. अब उसको जाके वहां पे हड़प्पा एंड मोहनजोदड़ो के बारे में कोई एक पैराग्राफ लिखने के लिए आ गया. नाउ व्हाट ही इज डूइंग, ही इज क्रिएटिंग हिज ओन ना, और अपनी लैंग्वेज में लिख रहा है ना. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज जनरेटिव मॉडल. डिस्क्रिमिनेटिव में डिसीजन ट्री को ट्रेस किया एंड यस और नो जो ट्री ने बोला उसी को इम्प्लीमेंट कर दिया. उसका खुद का दिमाग नहीं है. बट इन जनरेटिव मॉडल्स, जब 1 GB में 178 मिलियन डेटा है, दैट मीन्स 1 TB में 1024 इंटू 1024 इंटू 1024 इंटू 178 मिलियंस, इतना डेटा स्टोर्ड है. इतने वर्ड्स रीड करने के बाद यू कैन ऑलवेज क्रिएट योर न्यू डेटा. For example, I'm going for exam. I'm going for a civil services exam, fine, and I'm going to face. I have to. I'm going through the, let's say, the religion in India. Now I have read at least 100 of articles on this. So do I really carry those articles in the examination hall? No, but still I'm able to write an essay on it. Yes, of course. So what I mean to say, that I'm able to generate new words. I'm able to generate new lines. This is what exactly generative AI is doing. उसके पास डेटा स्टोर्ड है, अब उसमें उसको पता है दिस इज अ नाउन, दिस इज अ वर्ब, दिस इज एडवर्ब, दिस इज दिस, और उसके बेस पे ही इज जनरेटिंग अ न्यू सेंटेंस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द स्काईज, अब वो स्काईज को, स्काई इज ब्लू, स्काई इज बिग, स्काई इज दिस, तो वो ही इज अटैचिंग दोज थिंग्स. एंड एवरी डे इट इज लर्निंग कि इसका इससे रिलेशन हो सकता है, इसका इससे नहीं हो सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम ईटिंग फूड, आई एम ईटिंग रोटी, आई एम ईटिंग चपाती, आई एम ईटिंग पत्थर, आई एम ईटिंग स्टोन, तो उसने वहां पे क्रॉस लगा लिया कि ईटिंग के साथ ये नहीं आ सकता. ठीक है. सो दिस इज हाउ एवरी डे इट इज लर्निंग एंड क्रिएटिंग दिस थिंग. देन उसके अंदर हम लोग जानते हैं कि डिस्क्रिमिनेटिव में इट इज ऑलवेज सुपरवाइज्ड, उसमें सुपरवाइज अनसुपरवाइज कुछ भी. देन इट इज मोर फ्लेक्सिबल, इट हैंडल कॉम्प्लेक्स डेटा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, है ना. इट इज नॉट सिंपल फास्टर ऑन स्मॉलर डेटा सेट. एंड देन इट इज डिजाइनिंग अ completely new shirt. In this, it is just sorting a laundry. Sorting a laundry means it can be, let's say, shirt is there and it says that it's a collared shirt or it's a round V shirt, and from the data it is trying to find out and then classifying it. It is not that kind of a thing. It is actually something different. So now I comes to the what is AI, NLP, and LLM. So in AI, again I'll come to this point. So this NLP, natural language processing, AI, NLP, LLM. Because now from generative AI, I'm coming to the word LLM, large language model, जिसपे कि चैट जीपीटी बेस्ड है. तो इसको हम और आगे फर्दर रिफाइन कर रहे हैं बेसिकली. सो अगर हम जाएंगे तो नेचुरल लैंग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग के अंदर, सो हम ऐसा कुछ कह सकते हैं कि we can say something like this, that NLP is first of all language generation, answering questions, and text classification, sentiment analysis, machine translation. All these things come under NLP. Whereas in artificial intelligence, it is machine learning, NLP, and a computer vision. Very many, but it is a combination of this. But what is LLM? LLM is large language model, means this I have shown is documents and documents and documents and documents. As I said, na, that I have to write a religion in India. I have to write an essay and in my UPSC exam. So for that, I have read at least hundreds and hundreds of articles before I am able to write this. Similarly, so this particular thing, what is this? These particular things are showing the various documents. This one, a large amount of documents which are being supplied in the LLM, large language model. And on the basis of the large language model, I'm not only able to question answer, I'm able to prepare a essay, I'm able to prepare some kind of analysis, some kind of reporting. Everything is possible with me. Why? Because I have a huge amount of data available with me, and that data is doing the part of training part. So this training, which I'm showing here, this training is no longer hyperplane or decision tree or the linear regression or something. This is very complex. This training is very complex. Here, the number of words are very many. 178 million for 1 GB into 1024 for peta into 104 for tera into 1024 beta. So then you can make out that how many words I have in my hands to to train. And every day I am training and every day I am correcting. Every day I am correcting means, like for example, I'm just newly married and I made a tea for my husband. And then the very first day I served the tea and he said that it's too sweet. So what I did, I corrected myself, and next day I reduced the sugar quantity. Next day I served. He said that it is boiled kam ki hai, थोड़ी कच्ची कच्ची सी लग रही है. So what I did, I do correction. Next day I boiled little much. So what I'm happening, what I'm doing, I am comparing my output with what is expected output, and every day I'm correcting. ना, I'm trying to reduce that distance, and I'm trying to make my tea as much, although होता हो नहीं पाता एक्चुअली में, किसी का भी आइडियल बन ही नहीं पाता है इन तो that is why I'm saying that everyday life I'm training and training and training and training. I'm every day I'm learning and learning and learning and learning till such time I try to become an ideal person, which is not possible. Just on the lighter side I'm saying. So that means what is the methodology? Now as I said कि अब हमारी एक नई branch शुरू होने वाली है. What is that branch? That branch is to creating the apps, creating the app using the Gen AI. So हम क्या करने वाले हैं? Generative insight, then we are making designing and optimization, then I'm making personal recommendations, then I'm doing data analysis and visualization, and finally I'm performing some or the other kind of NLP task. For example, I want to write an application, I want to design an application for, let's say, blind people, right? For blind people. Now, what is my data in the background? In the background, the data is whatever is available in the whole world, from a small door to small curtain to small this thing. The whole images, the whole thing is my data. Now, what I'm doing, if that blind person has entered into the railway platform, है ना, so my data set is reduced from those billions and billions and millions of words. Now I am containing myself to those words which are related with railways, which are platforms, which have some link with this. I have reduced data set. I have done some kind of optimization. Now I start giving personal recommendations. Personal recommendation means toward this side you will find a seat, toward this side you will find a track, toward this side there will be a train, this is the engine, this kind of a thing is coming in. So I'm doing that for kind of personal recommendations. I'm doing then analysis, that is it actually it is, and then some kind of visualization, and finally I'm doing an NLP task. NLP task means I'm communicating to the person who is wearing it, those envision glasses. इसीलिए envision glasses या जितना भी आप whatever the product you're using, as I've shown you in the diagram also, the internet connectivity is compulsory, because in the internet, from the internet they will try to upgrade itself. As I said ना कि वो that is an error. अगर आपका y is equals to mx plus c में 10 पे 21 आना 20 आना चाहिए था और 21 आया है, that means this is an error. And what is my job? My job is to reduce this error. जितना भी possible हो सके मुझे reduce करना है. Getting my point? So with this, I'm just explaining you that this is how I can create everyday new applications using the Gen AI. So what are all those things? Background में क्या क्या use करेंगे? Background में हम लोग ये सब use कर सकते हैं. Open AI, Vertex AI and Hugging Face. सब 3 नाम है, और भी बहुत कुछ है, बट ये आपके बैकग्राउंड में है, बिकॉज आपको अपनी ऐप बनानी है ना. सपोज करो मुझे आज एक ऐप बनानी है डम पीपल के लिए, ठीक है. डम पीपल के लिए मतलब वो सुन तो डेफ पीपल के लिए बनानी है, तो वो सुन तो सकते नहीं है. मुझे एक ऐसी ऐप बनानी है जो भी सेंटेंसेस लिखा हो उसको साइन लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट कर सके. Clear? So I have to make an app for all those deaf people who can't listen, they can't hear what I'm saying. So I want to make an app जो कि पढ़े और जो भी लिखा हो उसको साइन लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट कर दे. इतना ही करना है मुझे, ठीक है. अब ये ऐप बनाने के लिए व्हाट आई विल डू, सबसे पहले आई हैव टू गो बैक टू एंड आस्क द बैकग्राउंड जहां पे वो बिग डेटा ओपन एआई में डेटाबेस स्टोर्ड है. सो आई विल गो टू दिस ओपन एआई एंड आई विल आस्क दैट प्लीज गिव मी सब्सक्रिप्शन. So definitely they will ask me how many words, kitna subscription chahiye, because it's just a matter of cost ना, cost and budget. आप सब लोग जानते हैं कि अगर मुझे लेट्स से एक वेबसाइट बनानी है, ठीक है, आपको एक आप किसी के पास जाते हो कि मेरे लेट्स से मेरे कॉलेज के लिए वेबसाइट बना दीजिए, या लेट्स से मेरे लिए वेबसाइट बना दीजिए, मेरे अपने बायोडाटा के लिए, प्रोफाइल के लिए, मेरे अचीवमेंट्स के लिए वेबसाइट बना दीजिए. तो जिसके पास भी मैं जाऊंगी वो क्या करेगा, बताइए वो क्या करेगा. ऑब्वियसली विल आस्क अ बजट. आपको मार्केट में वेबसाइट 2000 रुपए में भी मिल जाती है और 2 लाख में भी मिल जाती है. सो इट ऑल प्राइसिंग बजट, कितना आप बजट अफोर्ड कर रहे हो. सिमिलरली इसके अंदर है, आई एम आस्किंग फॉर अ सब्सक्रिप्शन फ्रॉम ओपन एआई. सो ओपन एआई विल डेफिनेटली आस्क मी हाउ मेनी वर्ड्स डू यू वांट, हाउ मेनी स्पेस डू यू वांट, कितना आपको, आपका मॉडल कितना बड़ा है. तो आपने ओपन एआई से प्राइसिंग के बेसिस पे, अवेलेबिलिटी के बेसिस पे, एपीआई डॉक्यूमेंटेशन के बेसिस पे यू आस्क फॉर द सब्सक्रिप्शन. वर्टेक्स एआई पे गए, हगिंग फेस से आपने फ्रंट एंड बनाया. नाउ व्हाट विल डू, you will make a RAG model, that is retrieval augmented generation, RAG model and fine tune. What is RAG model and fine tune? That means ultimately, like I'm making an app for a deaf people. So if I want to say namaste, so I just want to read that if there is a word good morning, good evening, namaste, so I have to do something like this I am storing. So in the background there is a word namaste or good morning or good evening or whatever it is, एंड मुझे उसको कन्वर्ट करके ये वाला साइन लैंग्वेज बनाना है. सो अब मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे रिट्रीवल ऑगमेंटेड जनरेशन बनाना है, मतलब मुझे उस वर्ड के साथ उस एक्शन को लिंक करना है ना. दैट मीन्स आपको जो रिट्रीवल हो रहा है उसका आपका रिट्रीवल ऑगमेंटेड जनरेशन आपको एक क्रिएट करके रखना है. फिर क्या करना है, फिर उसके बाद फाइल ट्यून करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल सत श्री अकाल में भी मुझे यही वाला एक्शन करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो भी बाकी जो भी वर्ड्स होते हैं नमस्ते कम्युनिकेट करने के लिए, वो सारे के अंदर आपको ये फाइन ट्यून करना है. मतलब इसका भी यही मीनिंग होगा, इसका भी यही होगा, इसका भी यही होगा. ठीक है ना. सैल्यूट में भी यही करना है, एप्रिशिएटेड में भी यही करना है, इस तरह की चीज. ठीक है पॉइंट. तो मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे ये वाला साइन डिजाइन करना है. सो आई एम सेइंग दैट कि अगर लिखा है वेरी गुड, आई हैव टू डिजाइन समथिंग लाइक दिस. सो मैंने सब्सक्रिप्शन लिया, उसका आरएजी बनाया, फिर उसको फाइन ट्यून किया. अगर थोड़ा सा डिफरेंसेस है तो बार बार टेस्ट कर करके. तो चैट जीपीटी में भी यही होता है, जनरेटिव, प्री ट्रेन, ट्रांसफॉर्म. जनरेट मतलब एवरी टाइम ह्यूमन लाइक लैंग्वेज में वो जनरेट करता है. और ये आपने देखा होगा चैट जीपीटी में, वंस वी इंस्टॉल इट एंड वी यूज इट, इट गिव्स अ डिस्क्लेमर दैट वी आर गोइंग टू यूज योर डेटा फॉर द ट्रेनिंग पर्पस, है ना. जैसे आप कस्टमर केयर में नहीं कॉल करते हैं तो आपके पास कॉल आता है that this call may be recorded for the further training purposes and something. Exactly, ChatGPT also claim the same thing, that आपका डेटा जो आप मुझे दे रहे हो, I will use this data in refining myself, in updating myself. तो ये चीज आपको जनरेटिव मॉडल में आपका आया. नेक्स्ट इज प्री ट्रेन. Obviously the data is pre-trained, that is why it is generating the information for you. You all must have seen the kind of chat gpt is providing you. सबने देखा ही होगा, मैंने भी every day I am also using it. I mean, I accept this, that now we all are heavily dependent on the technology. And day before yesterday my dean ma'am told me that okay, go and prepare the guidelines for the invigilators. एग्जाम शुरू हो रहे हैं ना, तो ड्यूटीज लग रही है इन्विजिलेटर्स की. So she said that okay, we'll put the duties of the invigilator on every gate, हर एक क्लासरूम के बाहर. तो बना के ले आओ एक अच्छा सा. तो मैंने क्या किया, मैंने चैट जीपीटी से ही तो बनवाया, खुद थोड़ी बनाया. चैट जीपीटी को मैंने बोला that okay, prepare some guidelines for the invigilator, and then उसने कुछ लिस्ट जनरेट की. report 5 minutes before that, go to this, check for the mobile, do not allow this, ensure the seating plan, all these things. तो मैंने क्या किया, मैंने इसको थोड़ा सा फाइन ट्यून किया. फाइन ट्यून किया मतलब थोड़ा बहुत करेक्शन जो करने हैं, कि कौन से कंट्रोल रूम में रिपोर्ट करना है, कौन सा कंट्रोल रूम होगा, दिस दैट, इन केस ऑफ सम इमरजेंसी कॉन्टैक्ट दिस नंबर, वगैरह वगैरह, डीएससीएस के नंबर दिए. सो दिस इज व्हाट आई एम डूइंग. सो जनरेटिव, then pre-train, and then transform. Then transfer is any type of large language model. So that now how this RAG works. This RAG is, in the diagram I have shown you all the 5 tasks which is being done during RAG. So first is a prompt and query. I wrote what I wrote, write in the guidelines for invigilation, for the invigilators to do the invigilation task. I gave a prompt, I gave a query. Now this query is gone, this query generated. Now number 2, this query is generated. Number 3, it has gone into the search the relevant information. Now what is this relevant information? This is the knowledge sources, all those keywords which are related to examination, all those words are being retrieved here. Ultimately they say that chat gpt is heavily based on Google. भाई जो गूगल पे जाता है, जो गूगल पे लिखा हुआ है उसको रिट्रीव करता है और उसी को फाइन ट्यून करता है. दैट मीन्स उसने क्या किया, थर्ड स्टेज पे रिट्रीव इट इज रिलेवेंट इंफॉर्मेशन इज बीइंग रिट्रीव्ड एंड एनहेंस कंटेंट, ठीक है। देन थर्ड एंड देन फोर्थ इज द प्रॉम्प्ट एंड क्वेरी एंड एनहेंस्ड कंटेंट, यहाँ चला गया यहाँ पे। ये है लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल। लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल का काम कुछ नहीं है, सिर्फ और सिर्फ ग्रामेटिकली उसको ठीक करना है। इफ द वर्ड हैज कम, इफ सम एक्टिविटी हैज कम, उसको जस्ट लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल इज ग्रामेटिकली करेक्टिंग इट। लाइक नाउन है, उसके बाद वर्ब है, एडवर्ब पहले है, वर्ब है, देन एडजेक्टिव है, देन नाउन है, उन सबको एडजस्ट करके सब्जेक्ट है, ऑब्जेक्ट है लगा के, एंड देन जनरेट द रिस्पॉन्स। सो दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू टेल यू, दैट दिस इज ऑल द आरएजी अबाउट। मुझे ऐप बनानी है ना, तो ऐप बनानी है मतलब आप ये सोचो कि चैट जीपीटी मुझे ही बनाना है, इसलिए तो इतने चैट जीपीटी डेली बन रहे हैं आजकल। आप देखते होंगे, अगर आप कभी चैट जीपीटी में गए हैं, लेट मी शो यू जस्ट अ सेकेंड। अगर आप चैट जीपीटी में गए हैं, आपने आपने ऐसा कुछ देखा ही होगा, आई एम प्रीटी श्योर। ये चैट जीपीटी में जाते हैं, आप इस एक्सप्लोर पे गए होंगे, आप दिस एक्सप्लोर चैट जीपीटी। हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू गॉन टू दिस एक्सप्लोर चैट जीपीटी? All of you must have seen this particular trending, and then by chat gpt, writing for productivity, for research analysis, for education, for lifestyle, for programming. Just see. And every day there is a new app which is being compatible with chat gpt, and you will see here, you see this is this new app which is being on this uh, astrology, and birth gpt. Now what this app will do, it will just retrieve the data, रैग अप्लाई करेगा ना, रैग में क्या अप्लाई करेगा, डेटा कहाँ से आएगा, इसका डेटा सेट क्या बनेगा, ऑल दोज, वो राहु कहाँ है, केतु कहाँ है, कौन सा किस सेक्शन में है, कौन सा किस जगह पे है, एंड व्हाटएवर। फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई राइट स्टार्ट अ चैट, ठीक है, इट विल कम एस्ट्रोलॉजी बाय बर्थ। नाउ आई विल राइट दैट व्हेन, लेट्स से व्हेन आई विल डाई, ठीक है, इट इज नॉट अ गुड टू आंसर, बट लेट्स से आई विल आस्क व्हेन आई विल डाई. So it will say it can't predict you, but provide the date and time. So I said, okay. Again, I asked, repeat, when I will die. It asked me, so I said this, okay. And then I said that my time is 4 a.m. on 2nd December 1972. So now, not only this, first it will explain me that कितना city and time भी इसने country पूछ लिया. So okay, I will write that also. So this is prompt engineering. Again, I explain you, है ना, my prompt is not correct. I'm not, this is poor prompt, because that is why he has to again ask and again. I said this is what, in Bikaner, Rajasthan, and then let's say India. I said this is my place, city and country is asked. I gave everything detailed. So it is starting action. Now the most important part is confirm. Not only this, it will also tell me कि आपका sun sign कौन सा है. It will also tell me आपका moon sign क्या है. Then it will tell me, oh my God, it is saying that it will give me, it will receive so and so. Okay, I'll ask some other question. It don't want to tell me about the okay, die का इसको कुछ प्रॉब्लम है बताने से, तो ऐसा करते हैं कि ये पूछ लेते हैं कि when I will marry and my time of birth is 4 a.m. 2nd December 1972 की जगह मैं लिख देती हूँ यहाँ पे 1998, ठीक है, कुछ भी ऐसे ही एक लेते हैं, नहीं तो ये बोलेगा भैया अगर आप अभी नहीं 1972 लिख दिया तो मना कर देगा ना, अगर अभी नहीं तो फिर कभी नहीं, at the age of 50 not, तो फिर रहने ही दो अब. So now it is showing. So what I wanted to tell you is this. It will show you that it is 7th house, Venus, Jupiter. It can provide me so and so. Would you like full visual chart or personality summary of your own relationship? If so and so, can you? I said no. Provide me just details. है ना? मुझे मेरी personality के बारे में नहीं पूछना है. So I said no, just provide me. हाँ, यहाँ इसने मुझे कहा कि ये 7th house cusp, moon आपका यहाँ होगा, your Venus is in Sagittarius, so and so, marriage time is आपका 24 and 25 में you will get married, है ना? When, not when, this is important, like influencing your 7th house in Venus, जैसे वो बोलते हैं ना पंडित जी, जब आपका राहु केतु 7वें में जाएगा तब आपका ये होगा, exactly in the same way. तो ये वाला चीज मैं आपको दिखाना चाह रही हूँ कि अगर एक किसी को एस्ट्रोलॉजी वाला ही एक नया बनाना है चैट जीपीटी, तो वो कैसे काम कर रहा है, व्हाट इज डूइंग, फर्स्ट इसने प्रॉम्प्ट एंड क्वेरी को लिया, फिर उस क्वेरी को भेजा, उस क्वेरी को कहाँ भेजा, रिलेवेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन कौन सी, जहां पे वो स्टोर्ड है, जन्म पत्री बनती है कि अगर ये डेट ऑफ बर्थ है, ये टाइम है, ये प्लेस है, तो इसके बेस पे ये रूल है जन्म पत्री बनाने का, उसने खाली उतना वाला डेटाबेस यूज किया, फिर उतनी इंफॉर्मेशन, रिलेवेंट इंफॉर्मेशन इज एक्सट्रैक्टेड, फिर वो प्रॉम्प्ट कैरी एंड एनहेंस कंटेंट को फाइनली इट वाज गॉन, एंड लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल ने उसको ठीक से, उसको सेंटेंसेस ठीक से बना दिए, एंड देन दैट इज बीइंग रिस्पॉन्सिव जनरेटेड. So through this, what I'm कंसंट्रेटिंग ऑन मेन थिंग, कि आप एक कतई मत सोचना कि आपकी नौकरी चली जाएगी, एक्चुअली आप एक नया ही नौकरियां जन्म लेने वाली हैं. अब तो दैट मीन्स रैग ने आपको ये वाला तो हमें काम समझ में आया कि क्या क्या प्रोसेस होता है, तो मेथडोलॉजी है. नाउ कम्स अ रैग मॉडल. तो रैग मॉडल ने क्या किया, रैग मॉडल ने फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एक मैसिव डेटा सेट था, वो कहाँ पे था, प्रीवियस डायग्राम में अगर हम कहें वो यहाँ पे था, दिस वन मैसिव डेटा सेट, है ना? तो ये मैसिव डेटा सेट इसने लिया, उसके बाद व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, द प्री ट्रेनिंग परफॉर्म हुई. नाउ ये वाला चीज जो मैं आपसे कह रही थी कि यू हैव टू टेक अ सब्सक्रिप्शन, ओपन एआई का ले लो या बार्ड का ले लो या जिसका भी लो, तो आपने वो लिया, देन बेस्ड एलएलएम ने लिया. नाउ द फाइन ट्यूनिंग पार्ट कम्स. तो ये वाला पार्ट तो हुआ रैग का और ये पार्ट हुआ फाइन ट्यूनिंग का. सो फाइन ट्यूनिंग वाला क्या कर रहा है, ले रहा है, देन इट इज डिलीवरिंग, इट इज अगेन रिफाइनिंग, इट इज अगेन डिलीवरिंग, इट इज अगेन रिफाइनिंग. सो दिस इज हाउ I say that हो गया. So that means if I comprehensively analyze कि हमें क्या क्या समझ में आया, तो हमें ये समझ में आया कि first of all what is chat GPT, chat AI. So generative AI is, I say, it's a subset of AI. I just want to read now because what is we have learned. AI क्या करता है, जनरेटिव मॉडल्स यूज करता है क्या करने के लिए, टेक्स्ट, इमेजेस, वीडियो एंड अदर फॉर्म्स ऑफ डेटा. नाउ आई कोरिलेट विद एग्जांपल. मैंने अपना डेट ऑफ टाइम और बर्थ और दिया, एंड देन मैंने बोला कि हाउ आई विल मैरी, व्हेन आई विल मैरी. तो इसने बैकग्राउंड से अपना डेटा निकाला एंड व्हाट जनरेट किया, टेक्स्ट इमेज जनरेट किया. इमेज भी कर सकता था, जैसे कि मैंने बोला मेरी पत्री बनाओ, तो वो इमेज दे देता है. लेट्स से मैंने वीडियो के लिए मैंने बोला कि एनिमेशन, मेक एनिमेशन फॉर सो एंड सो, इट इज बीइंग ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल, इमेज भी मिलती है. आई एम प्रीटी श्योर आप लोगों ने चैट जीपीटी से कुछ कुछ इमेजेस बनवा के देखी होंगी, जैसे कि इन द लास्ट आई वाज टेकिंग सम सेशन, तो मैंने ये इस तरह का एक इमेज जनरेट किया था. लेट मी शो यू. आई जस्ट सेड टू चैट जीपीटी, अगेन आई विल गो टू चैट जीपीटी एंड आई विल से दैट जनरेट an image for, let's say, photosynthesis for class 5 student. तो ये आपको ऑटोमेटिकली इमेज जनरेट करके देता है. दिस इज हाउ द इमेज आर जनरेटेड. आप सब लोगों ने देखा होगा आजकल बच्चे बीटेक के और एमटेक के और सारे बच्चे जो हैं वो इस तरह की इमेज जनरेट करवा के लाते हैं प्रोजेक्ट में. Yeah, you can see this is how the image is generated. And if I say the same thing, that generate an image for the class 12 student, then you will find the image is something more complicated. Equations will also be mentioned, and then it will be more elaborative, and H2O, H2, some everything will be glucose, and everything will be more elaborative. This is for class 5. Only photolight, CO2, water, photosynthesis, plant, oxygen, that's all. But here it is for the class 12. So here you will see that CO2, O2, glucose, how much chloroplast is present, chlorophyll is this. All detailed information is being available now for class 12 के हिसाब से उसने उसको डिटेल में भेज दिया. So this is how the image is generated in the chat GPT, and सभी लोगों ने ट्राई किया ही होगा. So that means what I mean to say is, I wanted to tell you about this. I want to tell you about this, that the text, images, videos, and other form of data is generated. It is powered by advanced algorithms, particularly LLM. LLM जैसे कि मैंने आपसे बोला कि क्या करेगा, एक तरफ होगा मेरा 1 टेराबाइट के अंदर कितना इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर्ड है वो वर्ड्स, एक तरफ होंगे वो ग्रामर्स, क्या नाउन है, क्या प्रोनाउन है, क्या सब्जेक्ट है, क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव है, and then all those algorithms to generate those language models, मतलब those sentences basically, and then generative GAN model. जनरेटिव एआई इसीलिए जनरेटिव नाम है इसका, क्योंकि गैन मॉडल इसके अंदर अप्लाई हो रहा है ना. गैन इज जनरेटिव एडवर्सल नेटवर्क्स. So generative AI technology is not all new. It was introduced in 1960 in chatbot, but it could not create an authentic output for the real people. It was only in the year 2014 जिसमें हमने जब ये जनरेटिव एडवर्सल नेटवर्क मार्केट में आया ना, उससे आइडिया आया कि जनरेटिव नेटवर्क एडवर्सल मॉडल को अपन बैकग्राउंड में उस डेटाबेस से लिंक करें तो फिर ये बहुत कुछ जनरेट कर सकता है. वहां से आइडिया शुरू हुआ इसके ऊपर. सो ये एक दोबारा से बस एक चार्ट बना हुआ है just for the completion. So that means issues with CNN RNN क्या था? CNN are good at local feature extractions. CNN do not have mechanism to understand the order of element. इसीलिए GAN आया ना. Because see जो CNN और जो RNN वगैरह है ना, they were using deep learning. जनरेटिव एआई में नहीं यूज हो रही है ना. तो डिसीजन ट्री यूज हुआ मेरा मशीन लर्निंग में, फिर अपन आए डीप लर्निंग पे जहां पे मेरे CNN RNN ये सब यूज हुए. इसका प्रॉब्लम था कि ये लोकल फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन भी करता है, नंबर 1, और नंबर 2 जनरेटिव कुछ नहीं है इसके पास. इट कैन ओनली डू क्लासिफिकेशन, जो पहले से एग्जिस्टेंट है उससे मैचिंग करी और बता दिया, खुद से जनरेट नहीं कर सकता. दिस इज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम. आई एम अगेन रिपीटिंग, ये खुद से जनरेट नहीं कर सकता. ठीक है. सो ये वाला प्रॉब्लम CNN RNN का आया. देन जेन एआई के साथ क्या चीज है, आई होप माय एवरीथिंग इज विजिबल ना. यू कैन प्लीज इंटरप्ट मी इन बिटवीन अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है तो. इट इज विजिबल ना, आई होप इफ समवन कैन टेल मी.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
थैंक यू, थैंक यू. सो दैट मीन्स अब हमारा क्या हुआ, देखो मशीन लर्निंग ने नॉर्मल डिसीजन ट्री बनाया, फिर डीप लर्निंग ने मेरे RNN CNN बनाए, लेकिन RNN CNN में प्रॉब्लम क्या थी, दैट इट इज नॉट जनरेटिंग ऑन इट्स ओन. इट इज जनरेटिव नहीं है, इसीलिए उसको जेन नहीं हमने वर्ड यूज किया. लेकिन जैसे ही द मोमेंट जैन एल्गोरिथम, जनरेटिव एआई एल्गोरिथम इंट्रोड्यूस हुए, फिर हमें आइडिया आ गया कि इफ द जनरेटिव एडवर्सल नेटवर्क इज अवेलेबल विद अस, व्हाई कांट वी कंबाइन दिस विद द होल अवेलेबल डेटा सेट. बैकग्राउंड में डेटा सेट हमारे पास ऑलरेडी है ही है, और डेटा सेट इज अगेन नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर अस. व्हाई इट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर अस? बिकॉज एज आई सेड, अगर 1 GB 178 मिलियन वर्ड स्टोर कर सकता है, सो यू कैन वेल इमेजिन कि 1 TB कितना स्टोर कर सकता है, 1 पेटा कितना कर सकता है, 1 टेराबाइट कितना कर सकता है. यू कैन वेल इमेजिन, इट्स अ ह्यूज, I mean the capacity. So if the data is available with us, the GAN algorithm is available with us, that means sky is the limit. है ना? That is where the Gen AI is possible now. Why? Number 1, as I wrote in this in front, we have a large data set. Why we could have a large data set? Because we have a huge memories. है ना? पहले कहाँ KB, MB, TB ऐसे बात करते थे अपन, GB. अब अपना गीगाबाइट गया, टेराबाइट गया, पेटाबाइट गया. I mean the memory is huge beyond imagination. Computational power, कहाँ पहले हम बोलते थे 8084 है, 286 है, 386 कंप्यूटर है. देन हमने कहा कि जनरेशन P1 है, P4 है, P5 है. एवरी टाइम नाउ द GPUs, बड़े बड़े GPUs अवेलेबल है. आप सब लोगों ने गूगल कोलैब यूज करके देखा है कि जिस पे मेरा कंप्यूटर फेल हो जाता है उसको भी गूगल कोलैब प्रोसेस करके देता है. दैट मीन्स नेट पे ले जाना और वहां इतने बल्क में प्रोसेस करना एंड देन लेके आना, है ना. So the huge GPUs are available with me. Then innovative DL models are available. One of the innovative DL model is the generative adversarial network GAN, and then transformation architecture जिसको हम बोलते हैं, and then reinforcement learning for the, ये reinforcement learning कहाँ पे यूज होगी, फाइन ट्यूनिंग के टाइम यूज होगी. रैग से रिट्रीव कर लिया, फिर कुछ ठीक नहीं लग रहा है तो उसको एवरी टाइम फाइन ट्यून करते चले गए. इसीलिए the ChatGPT, when it was introduced in 2 years before, now they say that after 2 years, after learning, आप सोचिए ना, वो the whole world इतने हजारों में लोग यूज कर रहे हैं, लाखों में यूज कर रहे हैं. So every day ChatGPT is improving. Every day ChatGPT is improving itself. What are the various use cases it can be used? ये मैंने आपको भी एग्जांपल दिए हैं. Image generation for a blind people, for the deaf and dumb people, not blind, deaf and dumb people, it can be used. Video synthesis, it can be used. वीडियो सिंथेसिस में सबसे बड़ा एग्जांपल अभी हमने सीखा था कि एक वर्ड पढ़ेगा और उसको एक्शन से वीडियो जनरेट करके और जनरेट करेगा फॉर द डेफ पीपल। तो अगर उसको लिखना है आई एम स्लीपिंग, तो उसने खाली लिखा हुआ था, लेट्स से यू आर रीडिंग अ नॉवल फॉर पर्सन हु इज डेफ एंड डेफ है, तो डेफ है तो ही कांट रीड दैट, ही कांट लिसन दैट, तो उसको आप एक्शन से करके बता रहे हो कि ये लाइन लिखी है, ये लाइन लिखी है, ये कह रहा है, ये कह रहा है, और आप उसको एक्शंस में बोल रहे हो, तो ये आपका वीडियो सिंथेसिस जनरेट हो गया। ऑडियो जनरेशन, अभी हमने एक म्यूजिक ऑडियो जनरेशन का एग्जांपल भी किया ना, कि उसने बोला हेलो आई एम वेल थैंक यू, तो जैसे ही उसने यूं बोला आई एम वेल थैंक यू, तो मेरा ये एक्शन और ये जो ग्लव्स थे उसने इसको सेंस किया और माइक ने वो ऑडियो जनरेट किया, है ना, बाय। जैसे ही मैंने ये किया तो मेरे ग्लव्स जो मैंने पहने हुए थे, जो मैंने अभी आपको वीडियो शो किया, जो मैंने ग्लव्स पहने हुए थे उसको उसने सेंस किया, उसको बैकग्राउंड में लेके गया, वहां से इसने ऑडियो जनरेट किया बाय बाय, है ना, उसने ये एक्शन को सेंस करके जनरेट किया बाय बाय। सो इट्स नॉट बाय बाय, वी आर स्टिल, वी लेफ्ट विद एटलीस्ट, दीपिका मैम हैज टोल्ड मी दैट आई हैव सम टाइम लेफ्ट, we started at 12:30, yes we have 10 minutes more, so this is again that kind of a thing। 3D generation animation अभी हमने करके देखा, I can show that वो fish is swimming, you can generate such kind of images and videos and everything। so that means अगर हम architecture की बात करें, तो अब मैं सब उन एग्जांपल्स को यूज करते हुए मैं जस्ट जितना मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन किया है, अब मैं उसको सबको कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली एनालाइज करा रही हूँ कि ये हमने यहाँ पढ़ा, ये हमने यहाँ पढ़ा। So the very first thing we read is that the first is layer is data processing layer. Data processing layer में we have the data collection, data preparation, and then the feature extraction. Then come the generative model. Generative model में model selection and then model का training हुआ. Then feedback and improvement every time. तो हमने user survey, user behavior. For example, ChatGPT ने मुझे कुछ आंसर दिया, मुझे पसंद नहीं आया, मैंने दोबारा दिया. So that means what is happening? User behavior analyze हो रहा है and then he is analyzing that whether I am giving you right output or not. इसीलिए आपने देखा होगा that after some time it asks you whether you are happy with the product or not. If it is a problem, then give me the feedback. So the feedback is actually the problem where it tries to improve. When I show you the fine tune diagram, I told you that every time it is fine tuning itself. And then comes the CPU. CPU is powered by all GPUs. And then this more GPUs is powered by more TPUs. That is the TensorFlow is using these two TPUs. It is making it even more powerful. And then monitoring and maintenance layer. So these are the 5 layers which are available in Gen AI. Next generation model layer, I explained you. Basically, I'm explaining these model itself. So the model selection and then the deep learning model. The models are, of course, CNN, RNN, we have done already learned. The reinforcement model, genetic algorithms, then there are additional techniques are also available. Then we come during the training part and then the layer of feedback and improvement. In feedback of improvement, I said that every time use user behavior. If he has written that question again, that means he is not happy with the answer. This is a simple behavior. That user behavior and interaction analysis is being done in the background. So this is how the tools or techniques are used. Visualization, machine learning, statistical analysis is being done. The hyperparameter tuning is also being done. Regularization, transfer learning is done. And on the basis of that, again and again improved. And the final layer is maintenance and monitoring and maintenance layer. In the diagram, this is the final layer. This is the final layer, monitoring and maintenance layer. So the job of the maintenance layer is, let's say, to observe that if it is done or not, or अगर इसको uploading करना है, कोई problem आई है तो उसको resolve करना है, क्या problem आई है उसको improve करना है, diagnose करना है, update करना है, scale करना है. So next I come to the next is last is the LLM. So LLM में as I said कि background में क्या है? Background में आपका OpenAI, ये BERT of Google है तो उसमें Google का background है, Facebook ने रॉबर्ट दिया तो उसका वो बैकग्राउंड में है, तो बैकग्राउंड में एलएलएम इज नथिंग, बेसिकली एलएलएम इज बस ग्रामर इंट्रोड्यूस करनी है, वर्ड तो उसको मिल ही गए बैकग्राउंड में डेटा से, और मॉडल ने उसको बता ही दिया क्या प्रेडिक्ट करना है। एलएलएम इज बस उन वर्ड्स को उसको ग्रामेटिकली करेक्ट फॉर्म में लिखना है, सिमेंटिकली एंड सिंटैक्टिकली करेक्ट फॉर्म में लिखना है। दिस डायग्राम आई ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन यू। सो एलएलएम को अगर हम बात करें तो एलएलएम इज नथिंग बट डेटा which is being 45 TB if I say, then actually में कितना हो गया 45 into 1024 पेटा में हुआ, into 1024 गीगा में हुआ, into 178 million words हुआ। तो इतना सारा मल्टीप्लाई किया, मतलब मैंने किया 45 इंटू 1024, देन अगेन ये हो गया मेरा पेटा, फिर मैंने किया अगेन 1024, ये हो गया मेरा गीगा, और फिर हो गया 78 मिलियन, क्योंकि मैंने आपसे कहा था कि 1 गीगावाट कैन स्टोर अप टू 78 मिलियन। अब इतना फिगर है मेरे पास, इतना फिगर है मेरे पास डेटा को स्टोर करने के लिए। तो आप इमेजिन लगा सकते हैं कि 178 को इतनी बार मल्टीप्लाई हुआ है, कहाँ जाएगा। Architecture will tell me the data, which is the next, and training will tell me what is to be done. And finally, LLM तो कुछ खास बात नहीं है ना, LLM तो खाली उसको ग्रामेटिकली फिट करना है कि कब ऑब्जेक्ट लिखना है, कब सब्जेक्ट लिखना है, कब वर्ब लिखनी है, कब ऑब्जेक्ट लिखना है, सेंटिमेंट करेक्ट हो, सिंटेक्स करेक्ट हो, बस वही LLM है और कुछ नहीं है। Prompt engineering, I have already explained you. Prompt engineering is nothing but a natural language technique that analyzes the input and present the desired output. तो प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग जितना बढ़िया होगा उतना अच्छा होता चला जाएगा। ये हमने एक्सप्लेन कर दिया है, मैंने आपको मोर और लेस। चैट जीपीटी आपको एक्सप्लेन कर ही दिया है, जनरेटिव, प्लेटन एंड ट्रांसफॉर्म। आई थिंक नाउ इट्स मोर और लेस डन। दिस इज लास्ट में जस्ट डिस्कस कर रहे हैं हम चैट जीपीटी के नेगेटिव एंड पॉजिटिव के बारे में। The negative is energy consumption, and then reducing the nature experience, and then enhancing the digital divide. Whereas positive क्या है, substitute है, environmental education है, increase the availability है, reduce the language barrier, है ना। अभी मेरे को किसी भी फ्रेंच पर्सन से बात करनी है तो मुझे फ्रेंच सीखने की जरूरत ही नहीं है। आप अपना चैट वो खोलो, व्हाट्सएप खोलो, व्हाट्सएप पे लिख दो कि भाई उसकी फ्रेंच आनी चाहिए, मेरा वाला इंडियन आना चाहिए, ऑटोमेटिकली रियल टाइम में कन्वर्टन होता है, द लैंग्वेज कन्वर्ट होती है। मोदी जी स्पीच दे रहे हैं, एक फ्रेंच प्रेसिडेंट आया हुआ है, उसने अपना माइक लगाया हुआ है, रियल टाइम में द लैंग्वेज इज कन्वर्टेड एंड ही इज व्हाटएवर ही इज स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी, it is converted into French and being delivered into his earphone, which is wearing. So real time language comparison is also there. So this is all about. Now the house is open for any kind of discussion about this generative AI which has been given to me. Thank you so much. I think I have covered whatever I could. This is the generative AI in large. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
ma'am. Thank you for such an encouraging session. Your expertise has truly opened up new perspective for all of us. The session is open for question now. If anyone want to ask anything, any queries, please raise your hand. We will unmute you. Yes, Anjali ma'am, you are unmuted. Please switch on your mic. Anjali Naik ma'am. Ma'am, you have raised your hand. Anjali Naik. Okay, I think, ma'am.
I think there is some issue, or
Yes,
either
ma'am.
she has raised. So we can.
Any other queries from the participants?
Can I
Jayashree.
talk?
Yes, Anjali ma'am, please speak.
Yes. The models which are available on Hugging Face, can we use that? Is it good to use that for research purpose and paper presentation?
Frankly
Hello?
speaking,
My
every
question
day students are using those models. Every researcher is using these models, depending upon your applications. The only thing is, up to now in India, mostly we are using machine learning and deep learning models. Basically, we all are working in Python, and we all are using deep learning models and KNN and RNN and CNN. There we are using it. It is matter of the fact that now we should switch on to GNN, Generative Adversarial Network, and start developing the Gen AI based applications. Then only we'll lead the world.
Okay, thank you.
Jayashree ma'am.
Hello. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Hello, Anuradha ma'am. You have explained very well, ma'am. Very interactive session you have. And ma'am, one question was mine ki what are the risk involved behind generative AI? You have discussed, I think, but that time I was not listened properly.
रिस्क
What
तो
kind of?
सबसे ज्यादा, my son is in class 11th. Her ma'am gave, his ma'am gave him the, okay, go and prepare a report on Arab Spring. He came, he wrote in chat GPT that generate a 15-page report on Arab Spring, and that report was available to him. Now this is the biggest risk, na? It is technological over
Yes,
dependence is
yes.
the biggest risk. अगर चैट जीपीटी ना होता तो डेफिनेटली वो कुछ तो रिसर्च करता, है ना?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
दिस इज द बिगेस्ट रिस्क. अगर
Biggest
आज हम
risk.
बीटेक में
Yes.
भी बात करें तो बच्चे को जब हम कोई नई एप्लीकेशन देते हैं, नया असाइनमेंट देते हैं, तो वो इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट वो अपना दिमाग लगाएगा कितना. आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर जब हमें एल्गोरिथम डेवलप करना होता था तो हम ओवरनाइट बैठ के सोचते थे कि ये पैटर्न जनरेट कैसे होगा, कितनी आई चलेगा, कितना जे चलेगा, क्या फॉर लूप चलेगा. अभी कहाँ करते हैं ये सब बच्चे. दिस इज अ रिस्क.
That, yes, man. That means machine dependability has been increased, na? This day.
True. We are
We are
over
totally
reliant on
dependent.
machine. हाँ, totally
Yeah,
dependent.
yeah. It
मैंने
comes under
बच्चे को,
risk. Yes.
बेटे को मैं क्या कहूँ, मैं अपनी बात कर रही हूँ ना कि मेरे को डीन मैम ने कहा कि अच्छा गाइडलाइंस बना के लाओ इन्विजिलेटर की, और मैंने 2 मिनट नहीं लगाए और मैंने चैट जीपीटी पे लिख दिया दैट
Exactly. Yes, yes.
तो मैं अपने बेटे से क्या कहूँगी. आई माई सेल्फ आई एम टोटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन
Mm.
टेक्नोलॉजी. तो
Yes,
मुझे ऐसा
ma'am.
लगता है कि बिगेस्ट रिस्क यही है कि
Mm.
टेक्नोलॉजिकल ये है. दूसरा, डेटा ब्रीच इज अगेंस्ट कंसर्न. जैसे कि एक मैं आपको एग्जांपल
Yes,
देती हूँ.
privacy.
चैट जीपीटी, डेटा प्राइवेसी, यस, बिकॉज चैट जीपीटी खुद क्लेम करता है कि जो आपने डेटा लिखा है वो मैं आई विल यूज इट फॉर माई ट्रेनिंग पर्पस. अब मैंने सपोज करो एक अनफॉर्मेटेड फाइल दी चैट जीपीटी में एंड आई सेड दैट ओके फॉर्मेट दिस फॉर मी. अब वो डेटा फाइल क्या थी, बेसिकली एक अब मेरे कुछ एम्प्लॉइज का डेटा था. मेरे हस्बैंड के फर्म में कुछ एम्प्लॉइज काम करते हैं, उनका नाम, फादर नेम, आधार, ब्लड ग्रुप, वो सब डेटा अवेलेबल था. एंड ही सेड इसको प्लीज एक्सेल फाइल में फॉर्मेट कर दो. तो मैंने चैट जीपीटी का उसमें भी यूज किया. तो मैंने वो डेटा सप्लाई किया, स्ट्रिंग कंटिन्यूस स्ट्रिंग्स थी. आई जस्ट गेव इट टू चैट जीपीटी, उसने मेरे को फॉर्मेट करके दे दिया. बट इन अ वे दैट डेटा इज नाउ अवेलेबल विद चैट जीपीटी ना, किसका क्या आधार नंबर है, किसका क्या पैन नंबर है, उसके एम्प्लॉइज का डेटा. सो यू कैन वेल इमेजिन डेटा ब्रीच इज अनदर प्रॉब्लम. So these are
Yes,
actually
ma'am.
few things which we need to we look into it. Data breach, over reliance, the social disconnect. पहले हमारे हम सब स्टूडेंट्स, हम सब बच्चे जो हैं वो बाहर खेलने में ज्यादा प्रेफर करते थे. अभी वो they're always hooked on to the machine.
Mm.
So over reliance
Exactly.
on machine is another problem. So मेरे हिसाब से तो यही सब रिस्क हैं जो
Yes, yes, ma'am.
we
Yes, ma'am.
really need to
Yeah,
discuss.
ma'am, we can implement all the thing in a Python, na? So, ma'am, could you please suggest which package is best for implementing these kind of tool?
बहुत सारे हैं, और ये पता है डिपेंड करता है कि कौन सी ऐप बेस्ड है. किसी के लिए तो जैसे जो भी ऐप आप डेवलप कर रहे हैं ना, पाइथन में तो लाइब्रेरीज की अंत है ही नहीं. एवरीवन इज रेडी,
Mm.
और लोग
Yes,
अपनी
ma'am.
अपनी लाइब्रेरी बना के मार्केट में लॉन्च कर रहे हैं. तो आपको
Exactly.
ऐप कौन सी बनानी है उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि आप कौन सी वाली यूज करेंगे. अगर आपको स्पीच पे काम कर रहे
Mm.
हो तो बच्चे आजकल ओपन सीवी को इंक्लूड करते हैं. अगर आप
Mm.
किसी और पे काम कर रहे हैं तो लाइक इमेजेस पे काम कर रहे हैं तो ओपन सीवी देते हैं. आई एम सॉरी, स्पीच नहीं. अगर आप कुछ डीप लर्निंग पे काम कर रहे हैं तो वो टेंसर फ्लो पे चले जाते हैं. अलग
NLP
अलग
is
ऐप
also,
अवेलेबल है.
ma'am, OpenCV में NLP natural language
हाँ,
processing use पे.
एनएलपी. हाँ, वही ना.
हाँ.
दिस इज आई एम सेइंग कि कौन सी ऐप बना रहे हो उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि कौन सी लाइब्रेरी आप इंक्लूड करोगे पाइथन में.
जी जी. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
माय प्लेजर.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Anuradha ma'am, for joining
थैंक
us. Thank you so
थैंक
much.
यू.
I was listening your session completely. So it was as usual, as you speak with a very interactive session was interactive. Session was made more attractive so that you are using those writer and also. So thank you so much, ma'am.
थैंक यू सो मच. मे आई लीव.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
so
Thank you
much.
so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Anyone who wants to connect me, I'm available at anuradha@ipu.ac.in, and I'm always available. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, to all the participants, thank you for your time and dedication for this day. And yes,
Rakhi
ma'am.
ma'am, we should mention one, two things. There are many student participants are not attending this Teams link, and we are not sharing session-wise attendance. So we want to again emphasizing, please attend session so that you can maintain 80%. That is the basic criteria of ATAL getting in participant certificate from the ATAL portal. And we have created a WhatsApp group too, so that though we have only single link that we are using throughout our 6 days, but still we'll ask you to attend sessions regularly so that you can get the certificates from ATAL portal. No, there is
And
no attendance form. Rakhi madam already mentioned. We are taking attendance from the Microsoft team directly. So whosoever is joining, we are getting their attendance and we are marking those attendance on the portal. Rakhi ma'am, yes, please you continue.
yes, ma'am. Okay, the feedback also, many queries are there regarding the feedback. Feedback will be on the ATAL portal itself on the very last day of the FDP. So on Saturday, it will be there after the session. So you can mark the feedback accordingly for the complete FDP. It is not there session wise.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, thank you all. And as we look forward for the tomorrow session, let's carry the insights that we have gained today, and we will come back with the more enthusiasm. And I think the participations will also increase because we have more registered candidates. So if you have any known to any queries there, you can please ask. Thank you.
We have
I
shared each and every information via mail, and
via
the
mail.
mail that you have registered on the ATAL portal, we have sent the mail on that particular mail ID. So please check your mails and please check your spam too, because we have very less attendance as compared to we have ATAL participation. So it will create an issue at the end. So I request everyone to join WhatsApp group also. And we have already sent invite mail to all the participants that we have registered via ATAL portal. That's it. Thank you so much. Let's meet tomorrow at 10 a.m. Right, Rakhi ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We
Thank you
have
so much
session
all.
3 at 10 a.m. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.